Welcome to the Mid Week Tease with me, Adele Onyango, where I share some random and not too random thoughts on things. And in this episode, I want to talk about something that I think every single entrepreneur and freelancer should hear, which is how the heck to build financial stability with irregular income. You know, that's the battle, isn't it? I have been an entrepreneur for 6 years now, and that's one of the headaches, right? Because first and foremost, there's no money coming in every 25th of every month. Right? We left that in employment. But you know, the roller coaster when it comes to income can be very real. So 1 month, the invoices are flowing sweet and smoothly. And then the next, you're wondering, hey, will I manage to pay the salaries that I have to? Will I manage to pay myself? Will this business cover overheads? If you're a freelancer, will this business make sure that I can meet my basic but very important monthly bills? So back to the question, how do you build a sense of just financial calm when your income is unpredictable? How do you move from survival mode to just like sustainable success and calm? And I thought that this question is important enough for us to base an entire wellness talk on it for all my entrepreneurs and all my freelancers. And I thought one of my favorite money educators is the best person to be the speaker. Her name is Susan Wanjiku, and she's been on the podcast before, but she's also led, I think, 2 wellness talks for us before. We've done one on investments, we've done one on budgeting, and now this one is going to be focused on guiding entrepreneurs and creatives and freelancers to make money that lasts. Okay, so it's on the 25th of October. It's a Saturday, starting at 9 a.m., running till 12 noon. It is virtual, so wherever you are in the world, jump in. And Susan is going to dive into deep practical strategies for managing irregular income and budgeting smart and investing confidently. Let me tell you some of the things she's going to talk about. Separating business and personal finances. That sounds very easy and straightforward, but it's not. She's also going to be talking about budgeting with unpredictable income. A lot of us feel like we don't even need to budget because you need predictable income to budget. No, you do not. Right? She's going to put us on to how to do that. She's also going to help us start thinking about how to build multiple streams of income from your business or from the skill that you've based your freelance career around, because that also can feed into sustainability. And I love this one so much because it's something that I've made progress with in my own business. She's going to help us invest. It is possible to invest even with irregular income. Another thing she's going to talk about, which for me, this one was like a personal request because I have made little to no progress on it. Retirement planning for entrepreneurs and for freelancers. It is possible, especially now there are tools for us, and she's going to guide us. One thing I like about Susan's talks is she gives practical tips and even templates. Sometimes she gives us templates for free. Imagine. So the wellness talks are designed to be super subsidized in cost and to be virtual so that you have little to no excuse as to why you did not attend. So it only costs 1,000 bob and it is virtual. So when you buy your ticket closer to the 25th, our events lead will send you all the registration details. Her name is Mercy. In the lead up to our wellness talk on the 25th of October, I thought, let's have a conversation with Susan. Let's bring her onto the Midweek Tease. We had a 2-part conversation. What you're going to listen to is the first part, where she shares her own personal transition from employment to entrepreneurship. That was a slap in the face. It was a shock. It was not planned. Losing guaranteed income and how she moved from that to building powerful systems that helps her find stability. So tracking every shilling and developing what she calls a paid day routine. So listen to part 1 and part 2 will be out next week. And if you need more info on the wellness talk, because I've just remembered I didn't tell you where you can buy your tickets. Check out the show notes. There is a link with more information, but I truly hope you take advantage of this opportunity. And if you have friends who are entrepreneurs, friends who are freelancers, friends who are content creators, friends who want to branch out from employment and do their own thing, share this episode and the wellness talk details with them. Okay, so back to Susan. We started off the conversation with her sharing exactly how she transitioned from employment to entrepreneurship.
I think, and this is also my own personal experience, because as someone who transitioned from employment into business or entrepreneurship, it was like a slap on my face. I'm like, you underestimate what that like guarantee of income every 25th. There's a level of comfort and sanity, I dare say, that it gives you, knowing that it's still coming. So I think in terms of like the struggles I think creatives and entrepreneurs have is that trying to understand how to organize regular bills with irregular income. Because like your bills don't care. There are things that must absolutely be paid for every month, whether your invoices were paid that month or not. Yeah. So I think that's the disconnect, that some bills are so unrelenting. They must be paid every month. They are regular, but your income that's supposed to be financing them is irregular and unpredictable.
I was going to say that nobody, especially this year, no one foresaw, away from Kasongo, we woke up and at a point in end of Q1, Q2 to Trump changing so much in the landscape.
So many of my clients were affected by that, actually. I saw so many people coming in like for the coaching sessions who are just like, hey, I had a job last month. Now with this new USAID thing, I've been affected and I don't know what to do. And some projects had very good exits packages. So they were given like 3 months. Others didn't have very good exit packages. So it's something that I wouldn't say it's common, like it's not standard, or a blanket experience, but I think as long as your source of income is not regular, predictable, or guaranteed, then you trying to manage your finances requires a different approach. Now, I think while that may be valid, sometimes as entrepreneurs or as creatives, we shoot ourselves in the foot.
Okay.
And I think the mindset behind that is that we, for example, will not do what is the quintessential financial planning, things like budgeting, that are still very, very effective, even if your income is irregular.
Yeah.
So because of that mindset, it's like we've told ourselves, my income is irregular. So these things that do not work for me. So even just trying to figure out, so how do I take this thing that is meant for an employed person and how do I tweak it, for me to ensure that it would work for someone who gets paid per week or someone who only gets paid like once every 2 months or someone who gets paid per project or for influencers, for example, per campaign. You understand? So I think the mindset that we can't apply proven financial management strategies because ours is irregular income, I think is a mindset that we need to change. Fine, I may not budget the same way an employed person who has, every 25th or every 30th, there's this money coming in, but I still have to budget. So the issue is when you close your mind to, say, for example, budgeting, you wouldn't even be open to learning how to for someone who's in your shoes.
Because you've already decided it doesn't work for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm so intrigued in your experience because you're always so good with just sharing from your story.
Yeah.
So you moved from employed to this space.
Yeah.
And I remember when we last spoke about it, it was like a shocking Does it not smooth that?
It isn't smooth at all. I don't even know why we call this a transition. Because transitions are,
You move through them gently.
This one, it was quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the mindset shifts you had to quickly say, okay, now I'm in this different space. I'm going into business. I can't think like ABCD anymore about money.
Yeah. So let me be honest. The first year, which was 2020,
I
I didn't know south, from east, from I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
Like Adele, I was drowning because I've never been here. I don't know what I'm doing. Then it's COVID. Who knows what they're doing?
Not all of employed or not, we're all just
Yeah. But I also feel like now towards 2021, when the world started opening up, for me, I don't know whether it's a matter of luck.
Yeah.
But because of what people had gone through, they were more interested in learning about money and financial literacy. So I got a bit of business, like from 2021, right? So now the money is coming in, but it's so irregular. Like it's like then I would charge maybe 2,500 for a consultation on Zoom. So imagine this week I have 2 people, 2,500 today, the other 2,500 the other week, like that.
Yeah.
Like money is flowing in, but there's no particular order.
Yeah.
It's like how you do projects here, there, like this particular company pays you and whatnot. So I think for me, the thing that got me is there's so obviously because I was also trying to expand my knowledge in areas of financial literacy, I started like investigating like apps or platforms that I can use to at least track the flow on the bare minimum.
Yeah, before we even understand like the predictability.
I can't tell you because I remember like my friend was asking me, hey, you want to do this thing full time? Because I was like, I think I would want to see what this is, where it leads. Because I was also applying for jobs. I wasn't getting very positive feedback. Companies had downsized. So I was just like, you know what? Me, I'm no longer sending applications. It was very heartbreaking. Like every evening you're opening your emails or morning there's a regret email.
Yeah.
So I just told one of my friends, I'm done. I'm not applying for jobs anymore. I think let me see what this coaching thing has. If it doesn't work, I'll just go back to the job market. And she's like, do you even know how much you make? I'm like, actually,
good question.
So for me, that's where the consciousness began. So I started like investigating. Then I came across the app that I love the most. It's called Money Manager. I wish I knew who owns the app, but it's just somewhere on Play Store. So I just started using it. So anytime someone would pay me, even if it's 1,000 bob, because I was starting small, kabisa. So sometimes someone would come and say, Kimi, niko na mashida. I tell them, okay, fine, just you have. Because I didn't have money, so I would even take 1,000 bob, right? So I started tracking. So the thing that got me, so when I was employed, I used to get a gross of 40,000. And then, of course, deductions, I'd take home maybe 29, 30. And then on the first month, I actually used the app religiously. Like any payment I get, I put it in there. And then obviously so it has both. So you track any payment that comes in, but you also track any money you spend. I was shocked, Adele, because on that month, I didn't feel like it. I didn't look like it. But according to Money Manager, I made 60 Gs.
Wow. Because I was listening to you say I would even take 1,000 bob. And one thing business has taught me is the value of even 100 shillings.
Correct. So to me, I was like, what do you mean I'm making more money than what my gross was? Because I don't feel like it. I don't. Unajua kuna vile you feel when you have money. Listen, that thing did something to my psyche. Like I was just like, okay, let me do another month. Let me just see. Maybe this was a special month. No, genuinely, I was very shocked. Yeah. Then I did the other month, and to date, Adele, I'm gonna show you. I wish my phone was. It's there, but like I have my data from 2021 to date up to today morning. You know, I can tell you, and that for me changed everything. Because I was like, you see, especially as entrepreneurs, and I wish most creatives and entrepreneurs realize this. It's so easy for you to make money. But how much of that money are you keeping is the question, right? So when I started holding myself accountable to actually seeing the number instead of ignoring, like seeing the number forces me to be accountable and ask myself, okay, according to the books or according to the app, I made 500 Gs. So what did I do with it?
And how comes it's only 10 remaining?
Correct. You get. So I think for me, that's the change I made that I never even used to do when I was employed. I started following the money. And I think if I was to give any creative or any entrepreneur like a tip that I think would be very beneficial, you may not see how it's going to help you, but the moment you start following the money, you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
Because now you'll ignore it the first, the second, the third month, but at the back of your mind, you will know I made 1.2 million last month and I can't account for it.
Yeah.
Itakusumbua.
Yeah. And it even makes you have a confidence to even say, I can now even entertain the investment conversations.
Correct.
Because I think sometimes you look at your business as a small thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into hearing about investments because, like me, this thing of mine is so tiny.
So tiny.
And in your head, you have that mindset, which we know not to be true, but it's how investment was first brought to us, is that if you don't have millions, this is not a space for you, right?
Yeah.
So when you start seeing, like for you, when you see the 60K, you even have a confidence to say,
Kumbe, I can even invest 15.
Yes, exactly.
I can 15 or 5.
Exactly.
Heck, I mean, it just depends. But I think that's really, really powerful. I think the second thing that I did that changed the game for me was detaching from an employed person mindset.
Okay, tell me about that.
And I think I would also advise employed people to detach. Because you see, as an employed person, the reason we move confidently as sometimes when we're employed, I know right now things have probably since changed, but we operate with a mindset of job security. So you in your mind, you know, even if I choma this month,
next month the money is coming.
Exactly, I'll recover. And when you do that long enough, you might even end up leaving that employer without having ever done anything meaningful for yourself because you're walking around comfortable. You get?
Yeah.
So I think the reason, again, why business and entrepreneurship or freelancing is scary is because you feel like that safety net was ripped from underneath. You now no longer have nothing to fall back on. It's just you and Jesus. Like, I was like, listen, utalala nje na unaweza lala njaa pia. Very highly probable. I mean, we've seen people who are now doing well give stories about their earlier days, like they were starting out, and they tell you, listen, a friend had to accommodate because I couldn't make rent. Yeah. So I think I had to accept that now this is where I am and I need to change my techniques. I need to change my strategy. While I was used to, money comes at the end of the month, then I do da. Now I need to actually have, and every person's, and I think this is really key, Adele, every person's system is different.
Okay.
Because today morning, for instance, I was working with someone who gets their salary twice in a month, half month, and then towards the end of the month.
That's interesting.
So typically, we would recommend that, like for someone who is employed, you have what we call, so everyone must have what we call a payday routine. What you do when the money comes, right? I want to just assume, guys, if you're listening to us and you don't have a budget, like I just let's start there.
The last Wellness Talk Susan came, she gave us an incredible budget to it.
Sure. So working with an assumption that you are at least on the bare minimum know what your expenses are. For someone who gets their income coming in on the 30th, they do their payday routine maybe on 30th or 31st, latest first, please, let's not push it.
Yeah.
So you have one payday routine. Now, for like the earlier client I was working with today, we need how many payday routines? 2. So it was, we asked ourselves, so when this first batch comes, what do we do with it? So we pay rent, we buy food, we bulk shop, So by the time the second one has come, the first one doesn't take care of any savings or debt investments. Then when the second paycheck comes in, now she handles what wasn't handled, which is, okay, how much are you putting in the MMF? We need to service our mortgage, and then we need to do Now imagine someone who gets, I work with even like clients, for example, in Australia who sometimes get paid weekly or bi-weekly.
Yeah.
You need a payday routine. That's what I'm saying. People's systems are different. Yeah. So like, especially for people who have, say you're an influencer or a freelancer, there may be contracts that this one is a 3-month contract or a 6-month contract, right? You want to actually assign or allocate and say, okay, when this money comes, I do a lot of prepaying, for example, as a freelancer.
Yeah.
Anytime I get big money, my accounts are happy.
Yeah.
I will have my emergency fund funded for the next 6 months. Because I don't know the next time
this kind of contract is coming.
Correct.
Yeah.
I've had instances where I've paid rent 6 months in advance. your Safaricom or Zuku won't kataza you from paying your internet 6 months in advance, for example. You see those things. So it's just a matter of figuring out, because not everyone's cycle of how your money comes in is the same. However, if you've done freelancing long enough, or you've done your gig long enough, it may not be regular, but there's an ebb and flow. And you've probably noticed or picked up on, that you can bank on and say, okay, so when this money comes in, I'll do this. And then when this other batch of money comes in, I'll do that. That's still a system.
This is so interesting, because I didn't know that was a system. I've done the rents, like prepaying rent. And in all my adulthood, I've never had such calm. I think mine was maybe 9 months. It was so stress-free.
Exactly.
It was so stress-free. And I didn't, I actually, before then, I didn't know you could do that.
Exactly. And that's one of the most powerful things for someone with irregular income. If you can learn the art of prepaying whatever can be prepaid. So it's an aspect of knowing, and I think this is also really powerful. I had to also learn how to handle very high income months and how to handle low income months. Again, the strategy should be different. So when I have that high income month, I know I'll do a lot of prepaying, including into my savings. Including into my debt, if I have any, because maybe next month, I won't have the same or the same client or the same flow in my business. Right? And then also know how to handle the low income months. Sometimes I have low income months that have gone 2 or 3 in consecutive months. So I've had to normalize going on no spend challenges, for example. So I'm like, there are months that I Uber so much, but maybe this month I won't Uber that much. There are months I'm branching every Saturday and Sunday, then this month people are wondering, I am. So it's just a matter of just knowing this is how I'll be handling. Like for me on a low income month, I go on what I call a bare bones budget. I think we talked about it in our last wellness session. It's a necessities only budget. Like only what is necessary. Then on the high income months, fine, I will do my nails and maybe get a massage, because we still have to enjoy our money, but I'll also ensure it's distributed through all the important departments. You get.
And this is, I think it's also important to note that there is no shame in scaling down when you are navigating a low income month. And it calls for you to be a bit more organized. At least for me, I've learned that low income months, I'm not coming to Nairobi as often as before. I'm just like, nope, fuel costs. It's one of the easiest things for me. I'm like, fuel costs down. You normally go, I don't know, once every 2 weeks to spoil yourself. Nope.
Exactly.
There is no shame. Because there's some necessities that will require your money.
Exactly. And sometimes we even have no income months. You get. That is why for me, especially being aware of your high income months and maximizing on that, that becomes really important. However, now on a more long-term planning. And I think this is easier said than done, but it's one of the most powerful things a freelancer can do. You have to look at your business strategy differently. And you have to stop running, because even an influencer or a freelancer, whoever, we are all businessmen and women. So you've at some point you've got to stop running the business like a kiosk.
Please repeat it.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm so serious.
Like, at some point you're gonna decide whether is this a serious thing? Is it now a business? And then begin to educate yourself on how business is run.
And start practicing.
Practicing. Because now you want to look at like your income strategy. Where does my money come in? Where does my money come from, actually? Are there opportunities for me to make this permanent or semi-permanent? Like this stream of income, for example? You get?
Yes.
So, for instance, am I going to say this in public? Let me just say, I don't like social media. Genuinely. Like, it's not, I tell my friends, mtajua nimeomoka, nikipotea social media. Honestly.
Deactivated account.
You will just, I've hit my financial independence number. But you know what? Every Friday on YouTube, I do a video.
Yeah.
It's because as long as I've done it long enough to know, as long as I put up a video every week on Fridays, at the end of the month, it may be peanuts, but it's some $2 here that I can do something with. I know I can do shopping for the house with that money, even if that's all it will do. So like I started identifying, number one, what are my income streams in my line of work? And how do I start identifying the ones that I can make permanent or semi-permanent? You will change even the way you approach negotiations and contracts. Because now I'm not in the business of doing a one-hit wonder with company X for this month and that's it. I'm more interested in figuring out, so how can we strategically partner for the next year?
A long term,
How can I strategically partner with this company for the next 6 months, right? You begin to even think, especially for us in the online space, what are some of the things, like, you know, what we're doing, like webinars every month.
Exactly.
There's always going to be someone who needs the information that is on the webinar. Digital products like done for you cookbooks or downloadable templates or whatever. There are so many wild opportunities that we can. And I think the moment you change, again, your mindset around your business, and then you start thinking like a business person. I've always said, even when my business was a one-woman show, I read I can't remember where, or I had someone on a podcast say that if you're trying to build a business that you think will sustain your lifestyle or possibly even outlive you, you have got to give it Fortune 500 company treatment. So you need to study how they run. So these people know inflows, outflows. Wanjiku here does not know how much money she made last month. She doesn't know how much is even expected to go out. So, you know, those basics, the way you hire is important. Your location is important. Your brand, oh my goodness. Just how people perceive your brand, like all of those things feed. And that is why for me, while people think these things are not important or you're really overthinking it.
No, you're not.
They all feed into my ching-ching in the bank account, which is
matters.
Which is what I'm interested in.
Honestly, I'm always telling a colleague of mine, I'm so happy I overthink things.
Sure.
I'm so happy I overthink things. And I completely agree with what you're saying, because when you start to look at, even before looking at your freelancing as a business, I think also looking at your skill as a value.
Exactly.
You know,
generating
then
assets.
You start thinking, how can it generate income even when there's no advertiser or partner, like on its own, so that every month, even if it's bringing you 3,000 bob every month, at least then you're assured, okay, there's 3,000 bob, Wi-Fi is sorted.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're like, I'll never, Wi-Fi is sorted. So I think one other thing we're going to be looking at the Wellness Talk, because we're not giving you guys all the but this conversation is really exciting. We're also going to be looking at some of the financial mistakes that we make on this side as freelancers, as entrepreneurs. I remember just when you're talking about the Fortune 500 company, one thing that I think was very important for me to do is I sat down with a farmer, because I've always just been wondering, your business is also hectic because your product is, once you have harvested it, the shelf life is going down, right?
It's non-negotiable.
So you have a timer going, and I'm just like, how do you handle this? And kind of like he was running me through what they do, blah, blah, blah. And I learned things that seem like obvious, but I wasn't doing it. Like listing down every single cost I have. There were just some things that fuel.
Because if it wasn't for the business, would you leave your home that day?
No.
Like you're probably going to prospect an opportunity. That's a business cost.
Airtime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, I still remember he was much older and he was like, I need you to go and write down all your costs. Take me through what it takes you to do what it is that you need to do to get the audience, to get the partners, to get the revenue. Take me through all of that and let's cost everything, right? I remember that being one of the mistakes. So what are some of the mistakes that you see as financial mistakes you see us in business making?
The biggest must be not having a line between business and personal money. That's the...
And that one is, I'm just going to have to curse. It's a mind fuck. Because, let me tell you, to date, I still have to catch myself when the lump sum payment comes.
I know. Me too.
In my head, I'm like, girl, and then I have to be like,
no,
no, we can't.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
It's huge. And I feel like once you figure that out, fine. You've not like figured out everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's solving half the problems we have, especially when it comes to finances as freelancers. The day I understood that Susan Wanjiku and the Legacy Hub are two different entities, let me tell you what I did. Especially because, listen, a client has paid me today. Then I'm going to Carrefour to get nyama for whatever dinner. Kwani nitatumia pesa?
Yeah, you'll like dip into that other.
So you see, and it affects everything, even how you collect your payments. Because honestly, if you lipa me to M-Pesa, just pay me on M-Pesa.
I don't like that.
The willpower it takes to like now transfer the money from my M-Pesa into the business bank account.
All of a sudden, the buttons are too many.
You know. So I think it's really, really important. And I think it comes back to event structures, the most basic structures. Let me tell you very simple things I've done in my business that I feel have supported me in that journey. It's not perfect, but I think now I'm getting better. The first thing I did is obviously register the business as an entity. I know we are all like, oh, I'm going to have to pay KRA, yada, yada, yada. But genuinely, if you're building a legacy business, something that you believe in, something that you're like, this is going to probably be handed down even generations to come, you can't avoid taxes forever. Yeah. And then, of course, when you invest, maybe let me talk, because one of the reasons we don't register these businesses or register or separate the actual entities is because we don't want to shed too much light on ourselves. And when you actually work with professionals, like a really good accountant, you figure that by the time you see that costing, by the time you take out all the costs,
it's actually sheltering you. It's doing you a service.
Exactly, because you'll end up paying very little in terms of taxes, right? Because you have to take out all your expenses. And then there's some reliefs. And maybe if you are contributing into a pension, there's also some relief there. So I actually personally end up paying very little. Like what I thought I'd be paying in taxes, for example. So that's the first thing I did. I registered the business. Then the second thing that I've done is that my bank account and the business bank account are two. In fact, they're not in the same.
I was gonna say they can't be in the same bank.
In the same bank, right? So those are two. So say KCB has my business account, Stanchart has my personal account. So there's no way any day they will.
And it must be a hustle for you. At that point, you catch yourself like, what am I doing?
And I'll tell you how that now has come into play later on in the business. Because I'm now in year 5 of running my business. Now, when I did that, I went down to let me tell you, I now have 2 phones. And the reason I have 2 phones is because of some people genuinely, either because they're abroad or they're having issues, they want to pay into a number. I don't want you. So I got the business line. It's on a separate phone. And then my personal line is on so when my money in this phone is not mine.
So and I don't want to see it until I'm doing my books, please.
Exactly. You get down to, you see this app that I use? Because I have 2 phones. I have the money manager on my personal phone that tracks personal expenses. And then I have the money manager on the business phone that tracks business expenses.
2 accounts.
2 different accounts. You understand? So it may look like it's very small things, but like the more I kept like stacking those habits, I realized like now it's a very clear distinction between what's my money and what's the business money, right? Then now, of course, as the business grows, you begin to realize if you ever get to a point where the business now wants, because a lot of us start businesses, and I find that's also another mistake. We run businesses, and maybe I'm pretty sure you have like a makeup artist. You have a videographer. You have a stylist. You have an editor. All of that. Or someone who sells clothes in town has the shop attendant. They have the social media manager or assistant. Whatever. All those people are on a strict payroll. So they're paid every month. But paying Adele is where you do
that's so true.
So that's mistake number 2. We don't put ourselves, it's like you started the business. You put in the work. You've put in the sacrifice.
And you're continuing to.
And you're continuing to. And it's like this business is for other people. It's paying everyone else a regular salary, but it's not paying you a regular salary, no matter how small.
Yes.
It beats, who is this business for?
Yeah. And it even
charity.
It helps you. I think for me, what I always say, Legally Clueless Africa, I'm an employee.
Yeah, exactly.
And it actually makes me more disciplined. Because I'm like, these are my rules and I have to do it.
Yeah.
But for a long time, I wasn't paying myself.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, we're not making enough money. It's like sacrifice.
No. And even if you pay yourself 10 G's, I've not said put yourself on payroll and pay yourself 500,000. You know?
Yeah.
So you see that kind of like puts a stop to the hemorrhaging business money. Because if you don't put yourself on salary, do you know, it's very funny when you think about it. Imagine hata usipojiweka kwa payroll, utakula hiyo pesa bado.
Yeah.
But now without any plan, no boundaries or limits.
Yeah.
But you see, if you're like, okay, and the easiest way to figure out how much you need to pay yourself, I know some people say, percentage is this, percentage is that. For me, the easiest thing was to do what I'm calling the bare bones budget.
Okay.
My bare minimums, my necessities. My business should be able to get to a point where it can pay my necessities. My rent, my food, my transport, on the bare minimum utilities and airtime.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to fancy nail parlors or whatever, just my bare minimums. And if it isn't, then that's good information for you.
Because how do we get it to?
How do we get it there? You get? So because we don't, again, we are not doing this strategy. We are not strategizing. We're not figuring out, okay, so now the business, and again, we are not even doing accounts. We're not doing books. We're not doing record keeping. So you're not even able to see inflows, outflows.
Yeah.
You just know social media manager ntamlipa 15.
Yeah.
Videographer ntamfanyia hivi. But like you've not really looked at the P&L. Like, have you actually done, this is my income, these are my expenses, this is the profit or loss that I made. Yeah. So those are the two major mistakes. Not separating business money from personal money.
Yeah.
And also not actually assigning a salary.
And listing you.
Putting yourself, ukilipa watu wengine kwa payroll, director anafaa kukua hapo.
Yeah.
And I know we are told, okay, sacrifice, and it's true.
Yeah.
If when the business is starting, you may not be able to take as much, but eventually you should be able to start taking 20, 30, 40 to the point that you can now pay yourself a comfortable salary. And if you run the business long enough and you're still not able to do that, then that's cause for concern. Again, I think a lot of us are we call that the sunken cost fallacy. That's another mistake, by the way. You took a loan, or your friends contributed, or you emptied your savings and you started this gig. You started this brand. You had a vision, you had a plan, but for some reason, it didn't work out as you thought or you planned. Many of us, because of the sunken cost fallacy, we are not able to cut our losses and decide or accept that this isn't working.
It's not working. Cut it off now.
I need to go back to the drawing board. And the sinking cost fallacy shows up even in how we invest. You put money and then you're like, why you imepotea? And then you're just like, you don't want to accept the loss. Just like they tell you, ongeza.
Yeah.
You know? It happens in relationships too. You're like, but you see, I already did a wedding. I already have 3 children. Like, know it's not working.
Let's have another one.
Let's just try. Let's try. Maybe the 4th will sort this. Abuse in this relation. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
So I think even financially speaking, I think one of the most critical skills as business people in terms of finances we need to have is knowing when it's time to call it quits.
Yeah.
When it's time to just be like, something somewhere is not working. Because if I've done my business like 5-6 years and it's been 6 years, I've invested, I'm paying other people, but up until this point, I'm not able to
sustain my life. Yeah.
You can pay yourself an annual bonus of 10 million. Yeah. Just, can you pay your rent from the business? Can the business pay you enough to pay your rent?
Yes.
Can the business pay you enough to afford fueling your car?
Yeah.
Or at least transport where you work? So I think following the numbers is everything, honestly. So for me, I did rectify the mistakes. At least now I can say like the finances in terms of personal finances and business finances are separate.
Yeah.
I have a small lean team of 3. I have a videographer, a web development team, a virtual assistant, and myself. So when we are doing payroll, we do for 4 people.
Yeah.
Susan included.
Yeah.
like now that money is sent from KCB, the business account,
to know that.
Now Stanchart money, if I decide to go kula cabbage with
That's
all of
now
it, it's my business. You get, and whatever money was left in KCB, if any, it's not mine.
It's the businesses. Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is so interesting to learn, because even when you say you have a lean team in my industry, I think you have the team that the business requires now.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I think sometimes one thing I had to realize, growth is steady and it might not be at the speed I think it is.
Oh, that's part.
If you're not aware of that, you can lose money chasing the appearance of growth.
Yep.
But it's not there. It's like
I think growing too fast can be a challenge. And I think, again, another reason I don't like social media is because every week there's someone launching something. It's like, do you know, Adele, I think I told you this before. I started my business in my bedroom, right? Guess where? I'm still doing well. It's not in the bedroom, but it's in the home. It's at a corner, in my home with a very nicely done backdrop that I can use for videos or whatever. Because I'm just like, listen, I know everyone, and occasionally we will get a phone call from someone and say, hey, nyinyi ni wale financial advisor, hey, iko wapi ofisi yenu? So you might feel the, some people who take me seriously if I don't have like an office or whatever. And those are some of the things I think I prefer to live by my truth as opposed to setting up offices so that once in 2 weeks, one client can come in and, experience
for 1 hour.
For 1 hour. So I pay rent. I pay a receptionist. I do fittings and fixtures in a new office space just so that on Instagram I can post and say, hey guys, this is the office that you can find us. But like 70% of my clientele is actually Kenyans in the diaspora.
Yeah.
We are doing this thing on Zoom.
Online.
Right? So if I was to succumb to the pressure of people saying, hey, but you've done this business so long, now you guys need to have an office. So I think also that growth is good, but as you said, it really needs to be progressive. And I think for me, a nice rule of thumb that I use to determine whether I need to be doing it is not what people are doing or what people are asking for. It's the business asking for it.
Yes.
This is just part 1 of my conversation with Susan. Part 2 will be out next Wednesday, but remember to sign up for our wellness talk on the 25th of October, where Susan is a guest speaker and it's geared for entrepreneurs and freelancers, and she will be helping us build financial stability with irregular income. And we're also going to talk about investing, retirement planning, and so much more. Grab your tickets now. They're 1,000 bob. In the show notes, there is a link. And remember, if you resonated with this episode, share it with the people that you love and care for and who you know could benefit from this particular conversation.
Thanks for listening to the Mid Week Tease, a Legally Clueless Africa production. Episodes go out every Wednesday, and you can learn more about us by going to legallycluelessafrica.com.